Good evening, everybody. Uh, Today we're going to be talking about curves off request. So I found a plat that has some curves that I can use as a good example. And right now we're going to be drawing up the northwestern part of this road, um, just for a good example. So first we'll start off with this line, this 3245. We can pull the bearing right here. So that'll be 2704, distance 3245. Right. We can get this information for curve 81 here. I already pulled it up from um, the Platts curve table information. So I'll be starting with the easy way of how to draw this. And we can start with the start, center, and let's say angle for right now. The angle will be this delta angle, which you can see based off the other curve data. That's how it's organized. Curve, number, the length, radius, tangent, chord, bearing, and delta angle. This will be the same exact thing. Because this curve, if you're looking at it from where we're starting it, curves to the left this way, I'm going to create an offset using the radius, which is the third column. This is my radius right here, a radius of 530.15. I will offset that towards the direction the curve is going to go in. Now, and this green line right here, that is yellow, but is now green, will help me find the center to build off the start center angle curve creation tool. So I'll click on the start of my curve, or the curve, or I want my curve to start, or the center of the curve is going to be in the angle that the curve travels. That is the last column in the information in the curve data table. So that'll be 9 degrees, 59 minutes, 14 seconds, typed as 9D 59 apostrophe 14 quotation mark. Enter. Now I have created a curve with that information. We can verify how accurate it is. We have an arc length of 92.41, exactly on the dot, 92.41. We have a, let's see what these are. We have a tangent length and a chord length coming up next. So the tangent length is 4632. Although this is it is good to know the tangent length here is represented by, if you were to go, if the two lines that are created off of this arc that are tangent to it from the ends of it were to intersect with each other, the length of these lines the length of both of these lines would be 4632. That is what this tangent length is. So the length from where these two tangent lines meet is what that is measuring. And then you've got your chord length of your next column. You have a chord length 92.29, which is the length of the chord. The from the start to the end of a curve is the chord. Now that has a bearing and a distance. The chord length itself, 92.29, is accurate. And if we built a chord with a bearing of 19.2908, this is 92.29. I don't know what just happened. Bearing distance of 1, 19.2908, a distance of 92.29. They are absolutely wrong. Anyway. Next, we're going to build this line right here. I've already checked. I know for a fact it is tangent. So I'm just going to build it off, assuming it's tangent because we're not working with lines anyway. I want to build this next curve being the cul-de-sac. I've just built a tangent line of 18.06 feet. And now I'm going to build this cul-de-sac being curve 64, which I can pull that data from here. Curve 64 being right here. Now, the only way, this obviously is a non-tangent curve, and those are the only two types of curves that you can encounter, tangent or non-tangent. To draw this non-tangent curve, the only way to do so would be through using your chord in order to get exactly what they have. So building with the chord of curve 64, we're going to go grab this data right here and hope it's right, actually. Curve 64's chord is southeast, 44, 32, 08, a distance of 60 feet. And you have to build a start end radius to finish up this cul-de-sac. So start end radius out of your curve creation tools. You'll click the start, the end, and now you're going to type in the radius. If you type in the radius for curve 64 being 50, you'll notice that it looks nothing like what's in the plat. What happened was is that it did the wrong part of a 50-foot curve. If you were to draw a circle from the center of this curve to intersect with itself, you would see what it was actually supposed to be drawn was this part. But you can build two arcs of a radius of 50 from this chord, and it just drew the wrong one. So I'm going to do is mirror MI. I'm going to mirror this bigger curve along the chord and hit yes, hit Y to erase existing entities. And I don't need that one anymore. This, to check and verify that this is correct, I have an arc length of 249.81, and curve 64 has an arc length of 249.81. That's great. They match. And that is the best and only way to build a non-tangent curve. Let's move back and start over. This will be for creating curves manually instead of using these buttons. First, going to go southwest 73, 2704 from, we're just starting all over again, 32.5 from this point right here. And we are going to go and build curve 81. Curve 81 has a radius of 530.15 feet, so I will offset in the direction that the curve is going to go. Create a circle so that it will be tangent to the curve at that point. I'll create a radius using the offset line. It doesn't have to be, but from the center of the circle, which I have already defined to be at the start of that line, and to where I'm going to be tangent from, which would be the intersection of the circle and the line that I just drew. We'll then create a copy of the radius and just enter through so that I now have a duplicate of the line on itself. I can then rotate said new radius, the delta angle given to me by the curve table, being 9 degrees, 59 minutes, 14 seconds, and use these two radii to trim the curve that I had. And this will create my new curve. The curve 81, this being the same curve. From there, I can, well, actually, I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to create a tangent line to the curve at that point. And then go 18.06. Whoops. 2.06 feet. Trim that off. And now I can, to manually create this, actually, we really do have to just do the same exact thing. We're going to use the bearing again. for curve 64, the chord bearing being southeast of 432.08, a distance of 60 feet. Do another start end radius at the correct point. This time, instead of doing it 50 feet the wrong way, I'm going to do 50 feet before hitting enter. I will read this and it says hold control to switch direction. I'll hit control, move my mouse, and it will move it, and it will create the larger circle. Then I'll hit enter, and we'll do it. Now I can mirror this new cul-de-sac along said curve and erase existing entities again. And I have the correct arc length. I'm going to check against arc length. Yep. And I have now created this curve again. To reiterate on the tangent data, this tangent right here, this tangent data, I actually do not really ever use this data. It is good to know what it does just in case you do find a curve table that is illegible. And so like imagine you couldn't read what your length is or what your delta is or something, and you still had to construct it somehow. Supposedly you can use this information to build it. You're gonna have to get creative with how, but what the information is supposed to convey to you, that if you were to build tangent lines off of this curve as such, the intersection of those tangent lines, both of them are supposed to have a similar distance, being 3750 for this one. We have 3750 on the dot. So just another way to verify that we did draw this curve correctly. If using any of these methods shown does not get you the curve that you were expecting, let me know, and we can go from there. This will conclude our recording. Thank you.